Alright, I'm going to show you how to use the cloning tool in Pixlr. And so I have this image, and it's not the best image, it's not a super high quality image, but I do want to actually make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to widen this up a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on my whole image there. There. And now what I want to do is I want to use the cloning tool. And I use the cloning tool a lot of times for when I'm merging images together and if something doesn't look right, or if I want to remove something out of the image, you can use the cloning image as well. And so what I want to do today is I want to take this duck and I want to move it to a new location. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little cloning stamp tool here. And I'm going to come down and click anywhere, and I'm going to hold the control button down, the CTRL, and I'm going to click right on its tail feather right there, or its end of its wing. And when I do this, I want to make sure that the brush that I'm using, I want to use a soft brush. And we're going to be using a hard brush a little bit later, but I'll use roughly a 25 soft brush, and maybe even a 30. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up and I want to actually start, so it's that tail feather is where I'm going to be starting. So I'm going to be coming right up here, and I want to start just about right here. Now when I click and hold that, you can actually see the duck. And what I'm going to be watching right now is I'm actually going to be looking down below, and I can actually physically see that cursor moving. I'm not looking up top because I really don't want to, I want to be tracing the line. I don't want to be watching up top. And that's as far as I can go on this picture, so I'll go up to the top. And don't go too far into that area. Again, making sure that you're watching the top area, not the bottom area, or the bottom area, not the top area. It's kind of hard to talk and do this at the same time. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and fill in the rest of this little rubber ducky here. Alright, so the next thing that I have here, and I'm not letting go quite yet, I'll get that little part right there, there we go, is I see that this area, I want to get some of the shadow. So the shadow is not really in the water here, so I'm going to go ahead and hold the control button down. I'll put my cursor right on the bottom right there. I'll click it, and now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to bring some of this water effect in. Now again, I'm going to be watching down below. Oops, so it looks like I got that buoy. That's not quite what I want. I'm going to go up to Edit, Undo. And again, let's mark this one more time. Click right here. So I do a solid left click, and then come up here. I'm going to start in that same location right here, in that very corner. There we go. That's what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving my way down. Now I'm watching my cursor as I'm doing this. Now if you notice, I'm getting towards the bottom there, and I don't want that straight line, so I'm going to just taper off a little bit here. No one's going to know. And I'm going to go over and get some of this stuff right here. So now what we have is this, we have the shadow that we have brought in from the rubber ducky. Now if you notice, we have to do some repairing here, and so this is right up in this area. I actually got some of this staircase, and I want to get rid of that. So to do that, I want to actually zoom in. So I'm going to actually zoom in pretty close. And I'm going to take this and zoom in up on the duck head there. And now I can do the exact same trick with my cloning tool. Now if you notice, my brush is huge, and so I want to actually drop that brush down. And I want to drop it down to a hard brush. So that's about the right size that I want. And same thing, using the cloning tool, I'm going to come over here. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click on the blue water. And then what I want to do is I want to clone this blue water on top of this white area here. As I'm doing that, I want to kind of get rid of the black. I'm going to do this fairly quickly. If I were doing this as an assignment like you are, I would actually go ahead and do it very slowly. But I just want you to get the idea of how that you can actually repair this stuff. And I keep on going, keep on going. And at some point you'll notice that it kind of picked up that white. It doesn't actually pick up the new paint that you brought over. So I have to actually click out here again and then go ahead and pick up some of this stuff here. So I'm going to turn that all into blue. Again, clicking up here and just do a little bit more, so just so you have the idea of how this works here. Okay, and then one little step here. And again, if I were working on this as an assignment, I would actually kind of take out some of this stuff here and some of this black line here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here. And it's going to look a little bit rough, but you can actually see that I have duplicated my duck there. Now at the same point, say I want to remove something. So I have these little buoys here and maybe these people in the kayak and canoe that I want to get rid of. I can do that in the exact same method. So again, I'm going to use a harder brush. I'm going to go ahead and, actually I'm going to use a soft brush. And I'll just go ahead and grab some water that is very similar around the boat. And now I can go through here and just kind of get rid of the boat and get rid of the, oops, so you can see that boat coming back there. That's because it's picking up the original work. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. I'm going to go down here, click out, and then go ahead and click over the buoy. Click out here again with my left click and control button. And so if you notice, I'm getting rid of some of the buoy type stuff there. And that is how that you would use, or you're going to use, the cloning tool in Pixlr today.